right back, Charlie. Definitely.
You always use that active and defending. I think it's like.
Catchy song, isn't it, people? But anyways, we're here for the real business now. Obviously, people deluded. I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Twitch gang, it's always appreciated. That's not even a word. Friday, I'm moving mad. It's always I'm appreciative, we should say, because I can't get that word out my mouth today. But yeah, I appreciate all the support you lot give me on the best of days. Much less today. It's a big day of content. Obviously, we bring our YouTube cousins involved on certain things, but Twitch, we're here from start to finish. We're here till whenever we go over to, we bring in YouTube, as I said, from Twitch and on Twitch and YouTube at 11:30. We focus a bit more on Arsenal. At 2:30, I'm going to have Statman Baines, where we'll be speaking about Man United and Chelsea, obviously drawing. Whether it was last week or not, we still need to get onto him about Arsenal beating United. So we're going to get onto him about that. 4:30, I think I'm playing Football Manager. That's only going to be for about an hour or so, purely because there's a little break required. And I think live from about 6:45, because it kicks off at 7. I'm going to do a watch along for the under-23s, Arsenal's under-23s against Leeds. Don't forget, Sunday, West Ham versus Arsenal watch along. Saturday, probably I'm going to do Leeds, Manchester City. But before that, I think it's Newcastle, Liverpool. So it'll probably be watch along business content. Even if you'll be watching on Twitch, can you please hit the like button? Let's draw some engagements. Even just from you lot doing that, we took a dip on YouTube last month / this month, and we're getting back up there, innit? So yeah, I appreciate that, man. Every like really does help boost the algorithm and all those things. Let me know your thoughts, questions, opinions, if you've got any. Obviously, Man United versus Chelsea, there isn't too much to waffle about where that's concerned. In fact, because just so we know what we're talking about, Premier League, Europa League, Conference League. Obviously, we're not just going to spend here speaking about that, but you get the point. I know it's a bit hot in here. The fan's not on. Or maybe it's because I was, I don't know if you lot caught me, man. I was enjoying my dancehall, man. Obviously, you know me, Skeng. I feel like Skeng is the best dancehall artist right now, but the best newcomer for sure, man. That's crazy. I can't even listen to his songs normally after being at a concert and that. So yeah, all right for the national anthem. Come on, Jonathan. Come on, man. You're doing the Lord's work. So Mino Rinola couldn't settle on a deal with the Grim Reaper and came back to life. Come on, alhamdulillah, 100%, man. Big up Mino Rinola, and obviously that Donny's lucky. I can't find his flipping Twitter. The guy who initially reported it, I can't remember his name, but he was moving mad. He's basically saying, "I'm sorry, I'm putting myself on the Twitter ban." For the first thing for me is scary, man, and I think I've seen that with RIP Jamal Edwards as well. I always think for the family, it's scary as hell. Imagine seeing your loved one is dead online, and then he's alive, and then he's dead, and he's on live, and I think a lot of journalists have to check themselves for credibility first and foremost. Being a decent human being goes without saying. They need to check themselves rather than trying to be the first to report on something. What happened to just getting just being honest, really, getting the right information by God's grace. Obviously, happy to see Mino Rinola. Obviously, you can't go when there's big money like Haaland on the line. Nice to see Mino Rinola is obviously still kicking and screaming. The man's tweeted and said while he's in a bad way, he's still out here, in it, really and truly. So we're happy to see first and foremost the man's kept his life. This guy's lucky. I can't remember his. There it is. You're not so lucky. You're not so lucky. Let me actually. That's a good way to start this, really, man. We might as well start with the Mino stuff, really. But where is the actual article? Because always, in case you've been under a rock in the last couple of days, yeah, man. Let's. Why ain't this? What's going on? Tab police are on me. It's not even letting me do my thing. Where is it? I've got too many tabs, people. I can't even cap. But it's for you, look. Is that it? Yeah. So yeah, man, big him up. Big up everybody tuned in. Frankfurt did do their thing and regulated West Ham, but Mikel Antonio finally scored his, 1 goal in 10 in all comps. It's like goals are like buses, so that probably means on Sunday he's scoring as well. unfortunate for Arsenal fans. But if you've been under a rock, people, and stuff like that, yesterday Mino Rinola was fighting for his life in hospital, and he's outraged by false reports claiming he has died. Where anyone, you're not happy with that, people. He is fighting for his life in hospital. He strongly condemned it. So he's not out the woods yet. By God's grace, you know, he gets fitter and better and whatnot. But that's where they're at. And obviously, people are saying he passed away at 54. Way too soon. Health is wealth. Like, again, I'm probably not the most healthy. A lot of people, you know, I'd describe myself as a car. I look the part, but inside, probably not eating what I need to eat. Probably, you know, to get it. So I think someone like Mino Rinola, obviously, it's not about weight and that, but he clearly is out of shape. He clearly does overindulge. So, yeah, health is wealth. It don't matter how much money or how little money you have. You know, when we're dead, we're all 6 feet under in it. So, yeah, man, look after yourself. Don't go before your time and all of these sort of things. So, yeah, he's still out here, man. Yesterday, he tweeted, current health status for the ones wondering, pissed off, second time in 4 months, they kill me. Seem also able to resuscitate people. So, yeah, and his close friend, people, said Mino isn't dead. Those reports are nonsense. A doctor said, I'm outraged by the phone calls from journalists speculating on the life of a man who is fighting to survive. I mean, there's a lot of good journalists out there, but journalism and integrity are two different things. Like, again, it's completely different, but I'm sure you also, like, I can't remember the specifics, but there's one done in London. I think he killed his ex-girlfriend and just bare family members in it. He just done a mad thing. And then you could see someone must have tweeted that they've just found out that that's their family in it. And then under the tweets, I added it as well. I was like, I think some brother called Harry, have some integrity. Some journalist, he was like, sorry, do you want to contact me, email me, and blah, blah, blah. Journalists don't have no integrity more time. You look at people like Piers Morgan, obviously he's a fucking mouthpiece and whatnot. He's hacking dead people's phones. Morality and them things there don't exist with these lot. But yeah, people, man. So yeah, man. He's doing what he needs to do. Mino Rinola is undergoing ordinary medical checks that require anesthesia. All was planned and no emergency surgery happened, people. So, yeah, man, obviously, you know, definitely where Ibrahimovic might get a new AC Milan contract. Pogba's on the move. De Ligt might be on the move. Haaland, bro, there's too much money to leave this earth. So shout out to Mino Rinola, the real undertaker, for still being alive, people. But, yeah, this Donny here was the one that speculated it and he was moving mad. And, yeah, he's doing the pussy old thing, people. Like, you know, this was the initial tweet. And then he went on to say, I deleted my tweet about Rinola. It wasn't speculation or run to be the first. Yes, it was. I'd never do anything like this on such matter. News was broken by I did tweet wrong too. Therefore, I am mortified and I apologize. Therefore, I've decided to suspend myself from Twitter for the next week. Sounds like you're running away from certain comments you might get. Again, I wasn't the one to break it about Rinola. Crazy, man. So the less said on that, the better in it. But that's Mino Rinola. First things first, the man's alive in it. So that's a good thing. One love to you lot. Statman can't hide forever, man. Them man there, followers only chats. Shameless. Hold the like even though I'm watching on Twitch. Come on. He gave himself a 1 week suspension, you know, like he got a red card. Trust me, Maguire. Your name's killing me. Big up Anfield Road End as well. DG, what's with the German managers only fielding 8 outfield players? I see names like Werner, Havertz, Rashford, McTominay on the lineup, but not on the field. Strange, bro. You see, I hate players like McTominay, yeah, because they're why them players there, and it's nothing to do with him personally. Them guys there are allowed to just stink up the place in England because they know the club. They've got passion. They've got desire. He was one of the shittest against Arsenal. Gave a good chat. And then everyone kind of forgives him. When you were shit with everyone, you were shit yesterday. I think I only saw him play one pass in the second half, getting run around there because he knows the club. He's got passion. England's the only place someone like McTominay makes it. There's no evident skills to be a footballer, but man, are passion merchants and shit. Horrible. Tuchel got onto Werner and Havertz. I think Werner played better than Havertz. Havertz ain't a killer. You bought a man, and Havertz is a great player, but he's one of them. You're playing false nine because Chelsea ain't got a striker. If Lukaku fitted the system and doing what he's doing, Havertz is probably playing as a 10 or out wide or wherever. You know, Chelsea, we all knew the game yesterday was going to stink up the place, innit? United have a shit defense. Chelsea ain't got killers in attack. It was made for that, and it's a point gain for United, 2 points drop for Chelsea. Chelsea, once again, terrible game management. Held on to the lead for 2 minutes. I wouldn't say they were amazing, but should have killed the game in the first half on the balance of things. They had a bunch of possession. There were, you know, it only looked like Ronaldo, Matic, in my opinion. Actually, I think Telles had a good game as well, but Matic and Ronaldo looked to be the only ones trying the thing. That's why I'm happy Ronaldo got his goal, because You know, he's running. I'm not to get onto Rashford, and you know me, I don't advocate running around for the sake of running around. But I think Ronaldo, I'm happy Ronaldo got his goal because I'm seeing man be right back, put in the shift in defense, you know, try press on his J's. He looked like one of the good finish from him. You know, Kante he was having a decent game, had an L, but he's the only one that was half on it. Matic as well probably should have been sent off. Yeah, Chelsea showed why they're not near Liverpool and City at this moment. You know, they're not killers. They play around with their dinner. You know, they ain't got killers. You don't really know what you're going to get from those Chelsea players. So, yeah, man, it's an L. For United, a draw don't help no one, but save a bit of face. It's better than losing. It doesn't help United because they've been on a terrible run of form, really struggling to win and things like that. You know, I think that with that means United have 2 wins in their last 11 matches. They're 5 points away from the Champions League spots. So it's peak, really and truly, everything. You know, as I said yesterday, if I was a United man, I'd be excited as hell about Ten Hag and more excited the backroom changes because that's what's meant to be long lasting. That's why City and Liverpool and even to a degree Chelsea have moved away from United. So I'd be happy. But right now it's a myth, in it. Like players are stealing a living. Rashford's anonymous. Midfield's anonymous. Yeah, it's the same. Matters come on and he's looked better than couple man as well, really and truly. It's just bewildering, man. Apparently Chelsea versus Manchester United. Big up Ronaldo for scoring against Chelsea finally. But apparently Chelsea versus Manchester United is now the outright most drawn fixture in the Premier League history, with 25 of the meetings ending level, people. You know, which is quite crazy if you're honest with yourself. Opta didn't even care. It doesn't even look like Opta Joe has too many statistics related to Chelsea Man United. Oh shit! Sorry, people. I think you lot just saw something drop. That's a massive. That's why you should put things properly. But yeah, I think that's God telling me stop wasting time with Manchester United. But yeah, that was a massive, people. Sorry about that. So yeah, Opta's not working. What's Shaq was saying? Man, are just focusing on Europa League. Big up Reece James. I think Reece James had a good game. But again, they didn't make it. It doesn't mean anything, people. Yeah, man, it don't mean much at all, really and truly. Apparently, Matic has an assist in his last 2 Premier League games, people, which is good for him, really. But it shouldn't be the old dons looking like this for United because they're not going to be here forever. Ronaldo and Matic are not going to be there. I said Mata, looked decent in his cameo. Crazy. You know, Cristiano Ronaldo, like Lionel Messi, I do think they're problems for any team because, you know, I think having Ronaldo or Messi is, you're not just able to be a manager now. You know, if you've got a standard 11, you can do what you want. If you've got Messi or Ronaldo, I think you have to plan around them and how the other 10 players fit in. And we all know the personalities. If them man don't like you, you don't have long at clubs. There's a bunch of problems that having them, you know, half of these elite players are. Ronaldo might be a problem in his own right, but he's definitely not a problem at Man United. And if he is, there's several problems that need to be addressed before you could talk on Cristiano Ronaldo. I think man's got 17 league goals, 8 goals in his last 9 for Man United. I don't like to be that done, but you take away half his goals, where would they be? And I know United are shit at the moment, but you lot have been shit. Like even when I swear he made his debut against Newcastle and it was a comeback thing. Even against Norwich, where he bagged his hattie. You know, that's how United have been playing. So yeah, man, shout out to Ronaldo, man. Because again, forget the fact that he scored. I just think the man, I don't like to praise working hard, but I think he put in a flipping shift, if I'm honest with you. You know, where was he against Arsenal now playing, man? Reece James had a good game. You know, he won 100% of his aerial tools, had a pass accuracy of 90%, had 112 touches, 13 towards 1, tried to fight Matic as well. 10 touches in the up box, 10 crosses, 4 take-ons completed of the 5 attempted, 4 shots, 4 tackles, 3 chances created, 3 fouls, 1 really. And Defender FC just couldn't really do it, people. Only 3 opposition sides have had 20 plus shots in a Premier League game at Old Trafford since 2016-17. That's Tottenham, who did it in 2020, Chelsea, who did it in 2022, Watford also in 2019. On the topic of Watford, Emmanuel Dennis, Arsenal. I'm sure we've been linked with him, and he's an Arsenal fan, allegedly. People, this is all alleged. I don't know none of that, but yeah, people. Chelsea's record, Manchester United, better yet, record against Chelsea at Old Trafford since Ferguson retired. They have 3 draws, draw, win, draw, win, draw. Rafa Benitez was the last Chelsea manager to win there. Old Trafford's still a difficult place for certain sides, and I know how it feels. Crazy. Marcus Alonso has now scored 5 Premier League away games in 5 Premier League away games since the start of the 2018-19 season. He's got 2 against United, 1 against City, Southampton, and Bournemouth. You know, 3 goals in Man, he loves it. Manchester United's last 9 goals, 8 of them have been bagged by Cristiano Ronaldo. The one difference is Fred. Ronaldo has now scored against every Premier League team he has played 4 or more games against people. I mean, the man's elite in it. Bit of a pointless stat, but Ronaldo propaganda. Apparently, Reece James had more touches in the opposition box than any other player in the opening 45 minutes. Manchester United just had 8 in total. So we already know, on top of the players and the many dysfunctional things at United, build up play, all of them things are haunted. And I think, again, if you give Ten Hag the right ingredients, he'll make you look cook, but he can take you to the water. He can't make you drink, people. It was horrible, man. From a Chelsea perspective, I think, you know, if I was Chelsea, as an Arsenal fan, sometimes you rely on guys that can't do it, innit? Respectfully, when you're seeing Kante, Reece James, who can assist, these are not guys that you would say as goal scorers or assisters necessarily. When they're trying to take it to the opposition, you're in problems. Lukaku and Pulisic, 2 very pointless subs, didn't bring nothing to the table. Chelsea is 2 points dropped for Chelsea, and it draws the perfect result for many people. Chelsea just not killers. United were there for the taking, should have been killed, really. In fact, even United had chances to win it. But yeah, really, like, it's a boring ass game. We should have really been watching the Europa League. Yeah, really, Chelsea just shown why they're not killers and why Thomas Tuchel is vexed. He tore into Werner and Havertz and told them they're not playing to their level. But would you expect Chelsea don't have killers? When they don't have killers and your defenders aren't scoring, Chelsea always in trouble. Like, they're always going to be in trouble, really. And considering United don't have Fred would have made a difference. And I think it's pretty damning that someone like that would have made the difference. Yeah, Fred, Sancho even, he likes Chelsea. You know, maybe if Maguire was there, it would have got collapsed. But yeah, man. Crazy, man. Absolute crazy, man. Social media killing people, no pun intended. First thing man did was hop on Twitter. But we live in a crazy world where, God forbid, someone could die and man will say praying for you and your family, and it's not praying for you and your family. Man are just tweeting that and going about their day, man. Question, GG, if you're West Ham, do you take Sunday serious to ensure you get Europa, or go all in next Thursday? You have to do both, man. This is the territory West Ham, Arsenal, United, everyone wants to get to, where you're in the Champions League or Europe and you're playing 2 games a week. Whether you have the squad is another thing. Obviously, Zuma's come back. You got to take them both seriously. If you know, you could rest players, but it's all about momentum, really. And I know Thursday to Sunday is a big push, but these players are big boys. I'd go as hard as I can. You got to do both, really. You might fall away in the league or not. Take care of your bodies 100%. Come back from the gym making a salad for later, but Cocoa Pops for now. Right, eating like one little kid. Trust me, cereals for youths, man. That's a youth thing. You're too old for that. You're a big man. Chelsea finna give us top 4 hope. I'm not doing none of that, mate. McTominay's story is such a bum, DG. He's the worst midfielder in the top 6. Then man get away with looking the part, though. That's why it jars me, because man, I'm sure United fans, a lot of United fans who are onto him, but certain fans won't be onto him because he's got the Alex Ferguson co-sign. He looks the part. He's the sort of done when, Ten Hag might find a role for him, just because he seems like when Klopp used to have Lallana, like if Klopp says listen up, and then you hear next man echoing, "Aye boys, listen." That's what McTominay's on. Klopp McTominay's thing. Like if training's at 7:30, he's there at 6:45 helping the coach put out the cones, and that he's getting him a coffee. That's how them man get futures, man. You lot got to blame Jose Mourinho for that one. Did he not give him a chance? I just don't think he should be at United. Like unless you're a squad player, like I don't think you. Again, Arsenal and United have a lot of the similar problems. A bit like Spurs, who've just bought Bentancur. The midfield, Arsenal's pivot. I'm gonna lie, I do rate Xhaka and Partey more than you lot, but then you lot's partnership. But again, is that a partnership that's gonna be 30? Probably not. Is McTominay and Fred gonna be 30? Probably not. Now these guys can be squad players, but you get it. Bentancur's giving Spurs something, but you get it. Højbjerg, these sort of man, when they're playing week in, week out for their problems, you're only going to get so far. On top of that, when your strikers are not scoring or you're relying on the same sort of guys and your defense, the foundations aren't strong, you're going to be in trouble. Like all the 3 clubs I just said. That's why man are fighting for 4th. The trophy for inconsistency. Man said NLE, Vouchers, and McTalentless might be the worst players I've seen. That one's almost up there with MBE Youngboy, man. Current United reminded me of my club under the 90/10 owners shit show. Had this little debate last night. If Chelsea win the FA Cup and Liverpool win nothing else, would you consider Chelsea season better than Liverpool's in the end? No, but I would say for all the hype around Jurgen Klopp, and I'm into it, and I don't necessarily agree with it. I think when you look at what they've done, there's not much that separates them. But at the same time, It's a tough one, isn't it? Obviously, if Liverpool don't win the FA Cup, don't win the Premier League, and don't win the Champions League, and they finish second and third, you don't get any trophies. Obviously, finishing second is better than third, but man have an FA Cup. In that case, I'd rather listen. I don't want to give Chelsea anything, but I'd rather claim a trophy. But I would still say Liverpool have had the better season because they just, Liverpool fans have been happier throughout the course of this season, definitely than Chelsea. Chelsea went from fighting for league titles and that to this, really. On the topic of trophies, but no, I wouldn't say so, man. DG, people saying Trent isn't better than James. It's just James has to cross to Havertz and Werner. I think Reece James is more all-rounded as a footballer, but I just think Reece James, I like him a lot. I think he's more all-rounded as a footballer. Don't know how him and Trent aren't somehow when finding a way to do that for countries at international level, but I think Trent's better than him. I think defensively Reece James is, but whole package, I think what Trent comes with is better than Reece James. Like what Trent is good at is to a higher level than Reece James. Like Reece James is good at a lot of stuff. He's not necessarily great at things. He can aspire to be great. I fuck with Reece James. He's lit. He's been linked with even Real Madrid today. He's lit. He can play as a centre half, can actually play in midfield. But like Trent, I'm not really on it. Devilish of a footballer on the right hand side. I swear he ripped Newcastle. He terrorized us he got pocketed at the bridge, but at the Emirates he was doing his thing. Good passing range. Man of the match yesterday. I just think I haven't seen, and he was doing the Trent thing going into midfield yesterday, but yeah, man, I just think what Trent is like. Clearly, Trent's not a good defender. He's a good fullback in it. Like he's quite meaty defensively. He's not as bad as man make out, but he's quite meaty. But I've never seen Reece James control a game like Trent. Like Trent, obviously, when you got Thiago and them sort of man there now, it's not going to look lit. But I've seen Trent control a game like he's a centre mid. I haven't. Now that's not necessarily what Reece James is about, but yeah, man, it's a good debate. It's a very good debate. I don't think. I mean, Trent's done it at a high level for years, isn't it? So I have Trent above Reece James, but I don't think it's a thing like Trent's up here, Reece James is down there. I think he's a level above him, but they're in the same sort of club. There's just different tiers to this membership thing at the moment. Two very good fullbacks. It'd be lovely to have one. And they both come from the academies. How much money has you argue Trent has saved 50 to 100? Not that man are spending 100 million on fullbacks, but 50 to 100 million for Liverpool, really, or he can make them that. Reece James probably the same. If certain people at Chelsea had their way, and I would have loved it, Crystal Palace be laughing. They almost sold Reece James on the cheap to Palace and that crazy stuff. But that's the team for him, Burnley, man. That man there, he's got a. Well, I don't even think McTominay is better than Joe Willock. Højbjerg is dog shit, and the fact Spurs fans actually rate him show. I can't lie, the Spurs fans in my reality, not to praise them, but they don't like them, bro. They don't like Højbjerg at all, man. But big up Dale. He's the one I normally call on the phone, the Spurs fan. He draws out Højbjerg all the time. I would call him, but man, not at work and that, man. These guys should be in the squad. Højbjerg, Xhaka, who's better than Højbjerg in my opinion, and better than McTominay. These are squad dons. Anytime you're making them the first choice don, it's an issue, man. Trent ain't been in his groove recent. It's been bagged up. Hasn't bagged their free kick in time. It's a personal choice between the two cats, in my opinion. Yeah, it comes down to it. Chelsea were tipped as title favourites by a lot of sources at the start of the season. Look at them now, but they don't kill. Like, obviously, the way Liverpool and the way City kill you are two different things, really. I'd say Liverpool should have killed Villarreal a bit more, and City, Real Madrid, but Liverpool is just, they're getting a knife and just stabbing you a million times. City is a torture thing. They might pull out your fingernails and that, but they're killing you. Chelsea fuck about. They play with their dinner. Like, they have a bunch of possession, half chances. They're not killers. That's one thing I think Arsenal benefited from as well, because their game management is kind of shoddy and they ain't got killers in front of goal like they could have done. That's why they are not fighting for the league. But clearly, that's why Chelsea, and I hope third becomes debatable and available, but that's why Chelsea are the third best team in the league. They're not quite there, whether it's down to a striker, whether it's definitely not down to the manager, because Tuchel, I don't think he's better than Jurgen Klopp or Pep, but he's definitely in that conversation, in that realm. The squad, Chelsea don't have killers. They don't have in my opinion, the quality of options that both these other teams have. Quality and why there is. They ain't got killers in the front options. Salah, 20 league goals, killer. Jota, I'm gassing it, but can barely start again. Killer. Mane, killer. Firmino's the only one that you probably wouldn't say is a killer. Diaz is too early to be giving him the killer thing, but he's showing that he's on drilling and killing, isn't it? You get it. There's Bear at City, Bernardo, Mahrez, Sterling, the list goes on, Bukayo Saka, Smith Rowe, obviously, Arsenal got no business being in this. I just wanted to gas up our thing, but yeah, they ain't got the killers. Obviously, Havertz has scored Havertz, them and they're Champions League winners, isn't it? But Havertz not a killer. You don't even slightly know what position he is. He's one of these men that can play everywhere. Let's be real. He's playing false nine by default for Chelsea. If Lukaku banged, he's not there. And I know in Germany, he showed he can play on the flanks. He can play a bunch of roles in midfield and all these other things. But he's these new age ballers. They can play everywhere, but you don't really know what they are and whatnot. There's bare man like that, really. So, yeah, they ain't got killers. They rely on defenders to score. I can't lie, it looks like everybody's form's kind of dropped off at Chelsea. Their game management, just based on the last 2 games I've watched, West Ham, it was very one-sided and they probably deserved to win it on the base of things, but conceding within 2 minutes against Man United, and that's a cheap goal to concede. And the 4 they conceded against Arsenal, don't get twisted, but they're horrible goals, bro. Like we said when we done the review of it, it's 6 Bandilu goals, if we're absolutely honest with you. But yeah, man, certain man ripped Pablo Mari and said, and was screaming league title, league title, league title. Reece Nelson, 8 appearances, 2 goals, 3 assists in the conference. Might get a decent fee for him, 15 million, I say. Contracted until 2023, though. Interesting comments. Keep them coming, man. This is why I love the Twitch gang. Chelsea are therefore closer to Arsenal, Spurs, United than they are to City and Paul. City do it methodically. Hope I said that right. City's midfield is off all chain. They have no equal there. Very important. And that's the thing. Strikers win you titles. Strikers win you games. Defense wins you titles. It's a midfield battle week in, week out. I really think people discount that, really. And that's looking at my club. If we certify the midfield, we get a lot better, in my opinion. I respectfully big up Xhaka because I don't hate Xhaka and I don't think he's shit. I don't like when he's scapegoated, but there's also at Arsenal, there's man that make out that we can't get better, we can't improve. He's the best to have ever done it, which neither statement is true. Anytime your midfield is, for us, our midfield is ticking with him to the point where if it's missing, he's not there. I don't think Fred's a bad player, but if Fred's not there, you see the evident stuff. If Bentancur, who's sick and not like this, Spurs have improved because they brought Bentancur in. But prior, if Højbjerg and Winks weren't there, even though they're terrible, there's issues. Anytime your teams are relying on guys like these, whether it's down to lack of ability, inconsistency, or whatever, you're in problems. Then you look at City, you're gonna get bored talking about all their options. Then you look at Liverpool, you're going to get bored, and they might even get Tuchemani. You're going to get bored chatting about that. Look at half the teams that have won the leagues and that. 30 midfielders. Even Chelsea's own midfield used to be 30. DG, do you think Roma will win the Conference League with Mourinho? I hope not. I hope Feyenoord or Marseille bring it home, but Jose Mourinho and trophies is a serious one, so you can't get on them, man. Reece James is a tank. Trent gets mauled by players like Martinelli. To be fair, I do think Trent is worse defensively. It just looks like a culture shock for Trent when he has to defend. Even against Chelsea the other day. Or what other big game did Liverpool play recently where Trent wasn't asked any questions, but anytime they ran at him, they got past him. I don't think he's as good. I don't think he reads the game as well as Reece James defensively. I don't think he's marking as good as Reece James. I don't think he's as good 1v1 defensively against Reece James as Reece James. I don't think he covers the space as well as Reece James. That's why I think Reece James is probably more all-rounded. But what Trent does, it's a madness. And same way, it will be different to see what I know. Klopp signed a new deal. We're going to get onto it. It'll be different to see what a new manager who might not rely on his fullbacks to be the top assisters in that more time will demand of Trent. But at the same time, the system is built for Trent to enhance his creativity, and he's a big part to Liverpool. So by the same token, if you're a linchpin to the system, I can't downplay that. Really, I don't know. The biggest problem is I don't know why Southgate ain't rating Trent's thing. City at the Etihad, Trent got smoked on repeat. How we stole a draw is a mystery to the sciences. Exactly. Yeah, it was that game there. Apologies for Chelsea. And I think it's just a culture shock for Trent. But the thing is, Reece James has played everywhere as well. Like, obviously, someone that's close to my family used to play for Chelsea. And I used to see Reece James as a little kid, but I remember seeing him obviously when you're 9 and 10, everyone's playing everywhere. But I used to see him play up front like that. Them academy Chelsea man there were different, innit? So he's always been someone that can play everywhere and do it well. But was Trent not a midfielder? And they just said, listen, if you become a right back, something can happen for you. And he did it, innit? So yeah, man, it's an interesting debate. But as I said, you want to see somehow them integrated for the country, especially if we play this three at the back. Like, they definitely could slide Reece James in the back three, flipping Trent in the wing back row. Bob is your uncle, then really, innit? Really and truly. you're living, really. Interesting debates, people. Interesting debates. Moving on from that, though. What else have we got? Obviously, where Europa League is concerned yesterday, West Ham have it all to do. Mikel Antonio did score, but they are, trailing to Frankfurt. That Noff brother scored, and that other guy scored as well. He gave problems to Barcelona. Yesterday, Leipzig won a 0-0 against Rangers. Last minute, 85th minute strike from Angelino, former City left back, gives them advantage. Pardon me, Eintracht Frankfurt won 2-1, people. Did you not see Jared Bowen? He almost scored goal of the season. He's so unfortunate that he's cracked the post, really. Mikel Antonio did a get back as well. So, yeah, they got it all to do. But I swear they came back from behind against Sevilla and Lyon. I could be capping. So, they could do it, but there's no margin for error. The Conference League, I need to watch the full game, which I will do in time for the loan report. I've got it recorded, but based on the highlights, that 5-goal thriller between the Arsenal loanees was crazy. Good to see Reece Nelson have some positive bits of play and get an assist. Terrible, I can't even remember. It might have been the third Feyenoord goal. One of the centre halves, one of Saliba's partners from Marseille, he killed himself, really. Silly back pass, really. Kaleta Sarr catted out for one of the goals. I'm just happy that Saliba didn't look too rubbed, people, if I'm honest with you. Nice to see a couple good touches from Reece Nelson. That Koku brother, done all right for Feyenoord. Apparently, he's available for a cut price fee. I'm fully on bringing him to the Emirates for a cut price. Gerson scored a decent goal in the league for Marseille against Reims, but he scored. Diang's goal wasn't too bad either. Feyenoord 3, Marseille 2, people. I didn't watch it, but Leicester versus Roma ended 1-1, and I'm sure you've all seen the clips surfacing online where Tammy Abraham's done some great skillers and that, So, yeah, that finished 1-1. I think Ademola Lookman bagged in that game as well. So, yeah, man, whoever to the final, who knows? Leicester City, Roma 1. Leicester City, Roma 1-1. Feyenoord versus Marseille ended with Feyenoord 3, Marseille 2. So it's all to do where the European games there are concerned, people. So, yeah. On the topic of West Ham, allegedly they're investigating an alleged attack on 2 German commentators during the semi-finals, people. It's claimed that these German journalists who work for a station called Hessinger Fundfunk were attacked while they were on air. The reported incident took place in the first half. West Ham have vowed to hand out life-term bans. Obviously, there's always people being idiots, and I don't advocate violence to people, especially defenseless Donnies. It's not worth it, people. I'm going to get into Kylian Mbappe, Jurgen Klopp's thing and all of that in a second, people, but I need to find, there's 2 serious sort of matters, really, that I don't want to miss out before we get back. Obviously, on a serious note, let me share my screen with you guys as well. On a serious note, police confirm Greenwood bail extension request as they await hearing from Manchester United forward. The 20-year-old was first arrested in January, leading to him being suspended while still paid, but suspended indefinitely at Manchester United. Greater Manchester Police GMP have confirmed that an application has been made for the extension of Mason Greenwood's bail, with the Manchester United forward arrested in January on suspicion of rape, assault, and threats to kill. The 20-year-old was taken into custody on the 30th of January following the release of images and videos by a woman reporting incidences of physical violence. He was released on bail on February the 4th. Obviously, United have distanced themselves away. He's been granted another extension of his bail. Till when? I don't know, but that probably, it's not until June, so his season's over. Well, fuck his season, but yeah, your season's over. Yeah, man. I mean, if you somehow are cleared of these things, then your life can get going again. How normal it can be, I don't know. But if you have done all of this, then I think we already know what needs to happen to this brother, in it, really and truly. Prison isn't, it shouldn't, people that do the rape thing and domestic violence and all the mad thing, prison shouldn't be what you should be doing. It should be death, really, because you're a scumbag, really. But anyways, the police said we are continuing to investigate a report made to us on January the 30th of online social media incidences and videos posted by a woman reporting incidences of physical violence. A 20-year-old man arrested that day on suspicion of rape and assault of a woman and threats to kill remains on bail. An application has been made to the courts to have his bail extended beyond Saturday, the 30th of April, which is tomorrow, but the hearing isn't expected to be until mid-June. The suspect will remain on conditional bail until the day of the court hearing, people. So, yeah, he won't find anything until June. He's lost commercial partnership. He's suspended at Man United, so his footballing career is taking a hit. But again, fuck all of that. If you've done what you're doing, it's an issue. Thomas Tuchel Says Havertz must fight back to find top form for Chelsea people. What has he said? He needs to fight back for his shape and have that same feeling. I hope he shows a reaction. The guys up front are young, so I won't start pointing fingers. Mount is still young. Timo is still young. Kai will still come. I mean, they are Champions League winners, in it, so it comes with the pressure. But Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Saka, and that, and it will come. They will learn because they have the right attitude. Tuchel said we should have had 3 points tonight on and off the ball. I was happy with how we played. We were brave without the ball, and the performance was excellent. But we lacked a bit of determination and maybe a bit of luck inside the box. If you ain't got determination, it's crazy, man. Yeah, bro. There's no, bro, you deserve death. If you're doing the rape thing, bro, you deserve death. And anyone that thinks that you shouldn't, you need to fuck off this channel, really. There's some things you just don't do. Jungle justice for them, where you either set a tire to them and set them on fire, if it was up to me, or, like I've always said, slap them in the jailhouse, give them just enough water and food to keep them alive. A big boulder, a tiny hammer, you hit that every day, every second of the day, you're hitting that until sunrise, sun up, you're hitting that out, you're begging to die. And then I might just make you lot fight each other and something like that, man, because you lot are just meaty, man. Disgusting individuals. He went on to say we had it a bit too often this season where we have drawn games when we were clearly the better team. We had it in the first half of the season. We should have won this. I'm not gonna lie, rarely, but I've heard Klopp say this, Pep says this, Tuchel says it, and Arteta says it. I think it comes across as a bit arrogant, where you can, we've been the better team, we have possession, this and that. You clearly have not done enough. I just think it's a bit snooty how they kind of come across. Yeah, I don't think he's happy with the performance. Definitely not on your reactions on the sideline, but big up Tuchel. We're going to speak about that at 11:30. Speaking of Tuchel and Chelsea, Real Madrid make transfer approach for Chelsea star Reece James. They're probably not going to be able to obtain him anytime soon, but what a player that would be. They're looking at him for next summer. Brazy. Well, how long's his contract? He's contracted until 2025. He's not one of Chelsea's highest earners. He probably will be in line for a new contract. So, yeah, man. Be serious problems if obviously you can't turn down Real Madrid. You can't begrudge Reece James if he said I want to go there, but he's a Mr. Cobham lad. You know, I'm sure he wants to at least try and win the league with them, but Real Madrid money talks in it. Don't know what Chelsea's thing is going to be saying in the future. Real Madrid is a once in a lifetime opportunity, whether it works out or not. You can't really begrudge players for going there, innit, really. Ranić apparently has got the Austria job and he's responded to the rumors, people, really. He's considering the offer. He said, let us speak tonight about Manchester United. This is the issue. I can confirm I will definitely continue in the consultancy role. So far, me and Ten Hag haven't spoken, but I'm more than happy and willing to help and change things for the better. It would leave space for another job, but this is what we agreed in November last year, people. So, yeah, it looks like he'll be manager of Austria very soon. I found this quite funny. Ahead of Chelsea's draw, where I hope he played quite well, Iwobi said, this is my best period at Everton. Meaty. My first couple of years, and still currently, my first couple of years here weren't the greatest, but this is my best period at Everton. I said, remind me, people, never to get upset about the problems Arsenal have, because some people always got it worse. I want to use it as a platform to kick on and make more positive memories with this club. I want to win something with Everton and do my best for the club. My main concern is what I'm doing for my teammates and the manager and my staff. Maybe, am I working hard for them? Are they happy with what I'm giving? But of course, it's nice to hear about the praise. I don't even want to see the rest, man. But fucking hell, it will be you're by yourself and all of that. I don't know why anyone would send for Uncle Carlo, but apparently he's been called a traitor. People, former Juventus directors drawing him out. People said he's part of dirty football, really and truly. Dear Carlo, your claims make me think you forgot about your time at Juventus and don't realize that you're also reporting yourself. You were part of that dirty football. You enjoyed it because you grow as a coach. You were part of that football also when Juventus lost the title under the reigning Peregia. You were part of the football when the FIGC changed the rules 1 week before Juventus Roma, giving the Gallo Rosri the chance to play with an extra European player who hadn't been allowed before. He was also decisive because he scored the equalizer that allowed Roma to win the title and you finished as runner-up again. At that time, you used to come to my office to complain about the injustice suffered by Juventus. I don't understand why you condemn this behavior now. Just like traitors who take advantage of the dirty game to grow, and then with the lights off, they make whistleblowers only to pass as do-gooders. So you're saying he's a snitch? It's easy to fish in a barrel when it costs you nothing unless you have something else to declare, only with proof because phone tappings are ready to deny and blah, blah, blah. On to him. This guy was given 5 years in prison. All right, so he's saying word to young Scooter, you're a real street IC3. He's saying Carlo Ancelotti saying, I'm not snitching on no one from Harlem. I'll be back soon. I hear it. Rico Ayres. Anyways, apparently PSG's Pochettino doing extreme cap. He has said Mbappe and him are staying 100% at PSG. Crazy. A bit like when Sol Campbell said, I'm not going Arsenal. He's never going to come out and say, yeah, but we're leaving. They want to sack me. Mbappe's trying to go Madrid. He's never going to do that, is he really? He said 100% in both cases. That's how I feel today. This is what I can say to you today. I can't say anything else. That's how I feel right now, indirectly telling us what I'm going. This is football, and we never know what might happen. But I have to answer the question based on how I feel today, and this is what I have done. He's went on to say there haven't been any concrete talks. Hasn't said there hasn't been any talks beyond what is normal in terms of our plan and what we've been doing so far. We have a natural relationship. We communicate depending on the circumstances at the time, but the relationship and communication are good. We keep working hard, not just bearing in mind the present, but also with the responsibility in this job, which is to think about the future. So that is what we're doing. Don't forget, people, watch Along Business on YouTube and Twitch. And don't forget, later, in 13 minutes, we'll be bringing in Twitch. But if you can, hit the like button on YouTube, because we'll be bringing in our YouTube cousins and speaking about that, people. So, yeah, that's what he said on him and Kylian Mbappe, really. I think this is just echoing the same comments, so we can remove that. What else have we got? We'll speak about that soon. What else is that? That's that. Bad news for the Premier League, or good news for Liverpool fans. Jurgen Klopp has signed a 2-year extension until 2026, which includes his staff. Now, I would say, Jurgen Klopp, I do see people try and belittle his thing in that they say one Prem in 10 years or whatever. I think he's created a dynasty. I think, I can't, actually, my brethren will tell you, I actually tweeted Jurgen Klopp should join Liverpool 2 years before it happened, because I felt he fits into what they was doing. I'm not going to sit here and say I saw all of this. I just think he tied into it, and I think I'm jealous. I'm jealous of Jurgen Klopp. I'm jealous of Pep Guardiola. I can't lie. Say what you want about Chelsea. I'm jealous of Thomas Tuchel. These were 3 managers that one of them should be at the Emirates. I'm sorry, but one of them should be at the Emirates, innit? 3 Champions League winners, 2 have done it at their clubs currently in the Premier League. 1 could do it. Klopp's a legend, isn't it? He's done it. He's rebuilt Liverpool. He's kind of rebuilt it again. It looks like he's doing the same phase. They're doing great things in it. What can you say? Jurgen Klopp's a legend, in it, not just for the Prem or Liverpool, but in world football, really. I think he's done a madness. What he's done in Dortmund, what's he done here is lit. It's just bad news for the Prem. I was all hoping that he'd go off back to Germany or whatever. Bayern Munich scope this guy. I hope Germany flop in the World Cup and Hansi Flick gets the sack and these lot come calling for Klopp, in it. So, yeah, man, it is what it is. I'd say the only bad thing about what Liverpool are doing at this moment in time is that City are about, isn't it, really? He had 2 years left on his current deal. And as I was saying yesterday, obviously, whether he sees out the whole of till 2026, that's another 4 years. It depends how he's feeling and things, which he feels good now. It gives a good message to players that they want to stay, like the Manes, the Salahs, and whoever else to sign new deals. It tells potential new players that we're doing great things and we're here to stay. And it gives Klopp that stability as well, because I'm sure, there's no way to leave them the top. Obviously, everyone gets sacked when you're doing shit things, in it, but it's hard. Like, whenever I see Pep do what he's doing at City, or Klopp or Tuchel at Chelsea, what better way to leave than the top? Like, you look at Sir Alex Ferguson, he left when they won the Prem. You look at Arsene Wenger, he came and done good things. It went sour. Sometimes I always think, is that when do you cut? And also, as much as Klopp comes to love Liverpool, he weren't born in Merseyside. This is a job, innit? You come to love your job and things, but I'm sure he's got other ambitions and wants to try other things. It's crazy, man. But yeah, it's good news for Jurgen Klopp. The good times are there, and I'm keen to see the next phase in it, because the next 4 years, you're hardly going to see Mo Salah, Mane, Firmino, Van Dijk, Alisson. They're not going to be like that. So their mantelpiece needs to be thrown in. So I'm keen to see how good he can make the Diaz's, the Jotas. Obviously, Trent is going to have to grow in responsibility. Young Konate. And obviously, I'm not saying they're not going to be there, but you get the point. A bunch of coaches have also signed as well. Liverpool's Pep has also signed one, really. So, yeah, man, it is what it is. I'm sure Liverpool fans just wish they kept Michael Edwards, really, and that's it. And, they convinced, apparently Klopp was having cold feet. Some other reports I was reading about staying, but Liverpool wanted to get him a commitment. That's why they actually pushed to get Diaz done in January, the report said. Not this one, though. So yeah, for someone that's been in charge since 2015, could do the quadruple. Even if he doesn't do the quadruple, Liverpool have come a long way. Like, you go back to 2015, they were shit like Arsenal. Like they used to offer people more P's. We're taking it, and it just shows what you can do if you're not on a joke thing, really, and what you can do if you sell certain players and reinvest and all these things that Liverpool have been doing. He's won 5 trophies in 7 years, been to finals, just doing great things. I don't like to waffle about the trophies and that, but the man's doing a madness, really. I love our club. It's the best place to be. There's something to announce like last time. Some will like it, some will not like it too much. If you do not like it, stop watching now. I stay for another 2 years, and not only me, all my coaches as well, which is the most important thing, actually, of course. Scrolling all the way down, he said, I love our club. It's the best place to be. I feel really, really lucky. What is it now? 6.5 years. FSG thought it would be a good idea to bring in a German fella in here. And here we are. We'll stay for another 2. Makes it 4 from now on. Wow, that's a long time in football. Hope we all enjoy the time together. See you soon. Yeah, so he's not walking away, really. He did say the plan at the moment is to get to 2024, and thank you very much. Obviously, things could still happen, but you never know. He'll be 58. I mean, Klopp said it's all down to his wife. So if his wife's happy, happy wife, happy life, and all that sort of stuff they say in it. So yeah, and I mean, boy, look at the names: Bill Shankly, Bob Paisley, Kenny Dalglish. Klopp's near them, man. Like, he's crazy. Liverpool fans would have to thingy that, but yeah, man. And this is one thing I'm jealous, people above Klopp acting. They moved fast, very quickly as soon as they heard that he's on it. So yeah, man. Crazy. So yeah, shout out to Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp. Bad news for the Premier League, man, really and truly. So yeah, with that's that. But let's see what the Premier League has to say as well, people, to round this up. Obviously, where the Premier League's in action, Liverpool, fresh off of Klopp signing a new deal and obviously beating Villarreal in the first leg of the semi-finals. They have to stop and play Eddie Howe's Newcastle at St. James's Park. I do back them to win. I think Liverpool win that. I'd say Liverpool 3, Newcastle 1, just because I think there'll be a bit of fatigue in Liverpool's legs. But yeah, it's a difficult test, really and truly. It's a difficult trip to make, really. Newcastle, Eddie Howe deserves to be nominated for Manager of the Year. Newcastle we're talking like they were Watford, like they're nailed to go down, myself included. You couldn't see how they're getting out of it, innit? But they finessed it, innit? So Eddie Howe deserves his plaudits. Gerrard's in a mess right now, and I know Gerrard, you can't, he's just joined Villa, innit? Next season's the time to really judge him, but not really the guy not looking like the guy to take over from Klopp right now, are you really? Just from Coutinho scored against United, that seems like all they've done. Gerrard's biggest highlight is just bitching about Bukayo Saka, if I'm honest with you. You'd back them to beat Norwich. It's the Dean Smith derby, Norwich against Aston Villa. As I said, if I didn't make it clear, I say if I had to predict, Liverpool 3, Newcastle 1, Aston Villa and Norwich. Norwich are kind of bugged, really. Norwich could probably do it, but I'm going to say 1-0 Villa. Southampton versus Crystal Palace, apologies. 1-1. Watford, Burnley 1, Watford 0. Wolves against Brighton. Ooh. 0-0. 1-0 Brighton. Leeds versus Manchester City. Well, it's not quite the Mad Bielsa games, is it? But I'll probably do a watch along for the 12:30 and 5:30. If I'm honest with you, that's tomorrow. They should be in the schedule, but if not, half an hour before kickoff, mental note. So we'll be live at 5 for the evening fixture and 12 for the midday one. So it's crazy. Frank Lampard derby. You've got Everton versus Chelsea. Does Lampard do the right thing and throw Chelsea 3 points, or did Chelsea give him some charity points? I wonder, man. Hopefully, Iwobi and Van der Beek, being Man United and Arsenal men, play and can put something past them. Everton were toothless against Liverpool. Man weren't even trying to make forward passes. They've got to, at Goodison Park, be a bit more braver. I hope they win, because I don't like to be that guy, but you do want to see third become a bit of a debate. Fighting for 2 potential European places is better than 1, innit? So Everton need to get 3 points. They need to start winning, innit? If they don't, it's peak. They were better than what I've seen recently against Liverpool, but they were still quite toothless. Anthony Gordon's out here diving and that. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, man. Everton, Chelsea, Spurs versus Leicester. Leicester going to bottle it. Leicester can't hold on to winning leads like they've shown in the reverse fixture of this, like they've shown in their last couple of games, actually. I think Spurs get back to winning ways after, a draw and a loss now. I think Spurs win that about 2-3-0. I think they're going to hit Leicester. Of course, I hope if Vardy is back, Maddison has something to say. Telemans, if you're going to become a gooner, you know what you need to do in games like such. Stand up to be counted in it. So there's that. You've got West Ham, Arsenal. I'm shook. I'll be real. I've been saying it, you know, from before we played Chelsea. I'm shook at the West Ham game. You know, if we beat West Ham, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna start believing in top four. I can't lie. You beat West Ham, I might stop doing the political Palmer. I don't know what the league table is saying. If you beat West Ham away, I might have something, but it's gonna be brazy. It's gonna be brazy against West Ham. I can't lie. They're gonna want revenge how we dealt with them. They're flying high. They're trying to keep momentum going into Europa. Happy to, you know, for me, Tomiyasu's got to start now. I mean, we're at where we're at. Tavares, you might as well have to play to the end of the season, but boy, it's peak. Boy, what can I say? We need to win that, man. You know, let's be honest. I'm happy to beat Chelsea and United, but away from emotion, we were fucking shit. Like, let's be real. Like, we had some great moments, but defensively, we were toilet this whole month. And at 11:30, we're going to focus on it a bit more, but we've been toilet this whole month defensively. The 2 goals we conceded against Chelsea, the 1 we conceded against Manchester United, the 3 at Crystal Palace, the 2 at Brighton, forgive me if I'm wrong, the 1 at Southampton. These are all very cheap goals to concede. And it's, for me, it's we Arsenal are not a good defensive side. We're an improved defensive side. We've improved somewhat. We need to kind of get back to those high standards we kind of set somewhat this season. And I think we're not. Like, we've outscored teams. How much can you do that without Tomiyasu and Partey? I don't know. How much can you do that with Cedric and Tavares as your fullbacks? I don't know. But we need to in it, because if I'm West Ham, I'm fancying it, regardless of who's at centre back, this, that, and the third. They have no centre backs. Well, Zuma's back, and to be fair, boy, that scares me even more. It scares me what you said there. It scares me the sense that we beat Chelsea and United. It scares me that nobody's fit, because Palace didn't win at home until they played us. Brighton couldn't score, let alone get 3 points till they played us. Southampton got hit for 6 the week before they played us. You know, I think United is the first team that I've seen kind of being shit, and then it didn't change against us. But generally, that's good and a good point this season. You know, Arsenal have been beating the teams they're supposed to beat. I'm capping a lot, man. But yeah, Man United play on bank holiday if you're in the UK. They've got Man United versus Brentford down here. So yeah, man, hopefully Brentford can spoil the party. I'd back Brentford to win that, to lose that, sorry. So if I go again, we're meant to be live in 2 minutes. I'm going to be late for that live stream, but who cares? Newcastle versus Liverpool 3-1. Villa Norwich 1-0 Villa. 1-1 Southampton Palace. 1-0 Burnley against Watford. 1-0 Brighton against Wolves. 4-1, I'm going to change it. 4-1 against Leeds for City. Chelsea 2, Everton 0. I think Spurs probably win that 2-3-0 if I'm honest. Putting positivity into the air. Arsenal 1, West Ham 0. You lot allow us, man. You lot are doing your thing in Europe. Allow it. We look at the league table again. I can't imagine. Well, I always skip out these 2 teams in it, because you two are in your own little league, really, in Liverpool and City. But yeah, Liverpool are second, City are first, Arsenal are third. You know, if Everton could do us a little favor in that, and we take 3 points and that, goal difference is a shag, but things can look a bit more rosier. And it's, again, I don't know why people were speaking like Spurs was a shoe-in, Arsenal's a shoe-in, or whatever. There's nothing that separates these teams. We're 2 points in front. There's no more games in hand. Spurs' form actually is better than ours. They've got more wins in their last 5 games. United, if they win their last game, they're not. I don't care what Ralph Rangnick is saying, and the players. Top 4 is not dead. Bro, everyone's got to play 38 times. I know United got 2 games in hand. Well, other teams got 2 games in hand, you know. West Ham shouldn't even be out of it. I'd say only Wolves. You, man, I said, raw. Big up Newcastle. Raw. 4 wins in their last 5. Them and they're up to 9th. Low key, European charge. Lowest of keys. There's a European shout. Who gets Conference League? 7th and 8th? Or was it just 7th? I don't even know. But Eddie Howe showing he might be able to lead the revolution on that one still. Like, that one there might be brazy still. So yeah, man, that's that. We're gonna be late, people. This is gonna obviously be. Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna open it up to Twitch as well. But yeah, it is what it is. Donny's chilling this season. New baby settings. Watch football to him. Trust. I'm tipping Newcastle for an upset. Appreciate DG, best news possible getting the extension. It's the whole of his coaching team. Facts, because it's deeper than that, and it's nothing similar. But I think a lot of people criticize Mikel Arteta's coaching staff, and this season you've seen the set piece Don get his credit, Albert get his credit, couple other men as well. It's a collaborative thing. Long gone are the days of Wenger and Fergie where you can just regulate things by yourself. one thing I like about Liverpool and Pep is that, and City, is that Klopp just has to focus on football. Like, he don't have to do other things. If he says, I need X, Y, Z, man are getting what he needs, sort of thing. If they can't, there's suitable alternatives. At Arsenal, Arteta's, for all his faults, there's Bandulu things happening. Same probably goes for, probably will happen for Ten Hag if they don't pattern up at United. So, yeah, man. 19 years ago, Henry became the first ever player to win 2 consecutive Premier League Player of the Year. With the best in the league, the best there's ever been. FM settings at 4:30, might start a bit earlier. So, yeah, man. A man said winning the champs counts as 3. No, it counts as 1, but I would definitely count as 3 as Arsenal. If Arsenal won, then again, we won it in 06. No one's telling me nothing. We got zanged in it. I wish we could restart that Barcelona final in the champs, man. That was a shake. So, yeah, man, obviously, people, I don't want to take the piss. So, yeah, let me come off this, set this up again. We go live again in a second. People literally were supposed to be live now. So, yeah, I'm going to need a couple minutes to pattern off that. And we go again where we'll focus slightly more on Arsenal. But obviously, people, I appreciate all the support you guys give me. You lot, make sure you're supporting and you're following and subscribing on all those things there. I'm out, man. I'll see you lot again. Check your schedules because there's a bag of content today, tomorrow, the other day, and the other day, and the other day. Tuesday, Wednesdays, even Champions League. You know me, I hang around like a bad smell. I'm out, though, man. God bless. I hope everyone's had a progressive week. I hope everyone's healthy. And, yeah, man, one love for the support, man. Safe.
So there's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like